They told you that if you were just a better dad, that your kids wouldn't be pulling away. They told you it's your fault, and you feel like something isn't right. You see the way they look at you. It's not the look of a child who's upset. It's the look of a child who's been taught to see you as an enemy. Welcome to the Diary of an Abused Father. I'm V, and on this channel, we break the silence for fathers navigating abuse and alienation. Today, we're talking about the 5 subtle signs that the other parent is trying to turn your child against you. If you're seeing these signs, then you're not crazy and you're not alone. Let's get into it. Parental alienation isn't always an explosion, it's a slow drip of poison. It starts with very small, subtle comments and ends with a child who doesn't recognize you anymore. Let's get straight into the signs. Sign number one, the messenger dynamic. The first sign is when your child starts delivering adult messages. A 6-year-old shouldn't know about child support. A teenager shouldn't be the one telling you that mom says you're the reason we're losing the house. When a child is forced to be a middleman, the other parent is using them as a shield. They are adultifying your child to make them an ally in a war they never asked to be in. Now, for me, in my personal circumstances with my daughter's mother, she would use terminology that was only familiar in our parenting plan and in the family courts. She would say things like, "Oh, when you're at your father's house for the weekend, you don't have to listen to him because he's the non custodial parent and I'm the custodial parent, meaning I have more rights and control over you than he does. So you don't have to listen to him when you're at his house for the weekend." These are the messenger dynamic tactics. Sign number two, borrowed language. Listen closely to the words coming out of your child's mouth. Do they sound like a kid or do they sound like a lawyer? If your child starts using words like harassment, narcissist, or toxic environment, those are red flags. This is borrowed language. It's a sign that they are being coached or are overhearing things they should never hear. They are reciting a script they didn't write. Now, for me in my personal circumstance with my daughter and her mother would use specific terms again from like family court and our parenting plan, such as visitation. She would always stress how when it was time for our daughter to come to my house for the weekend, it was just my visitation time. It wasn't quality time being spent with her father, it was considered strictly visitation. Again, this is borrowed language. Sign number three, the sudden erasure of history. This is the one that hurts the most. You'll bring up a memory, a trip to the zoo, a bedtime story they used to love, and they'll tell you it never happened. Or worse, they'll tell you it was actually a bad memory. Alienators rewrite history. They convince the child that the good times were actually scary times. If your child is suddenly rejecting a hobby or a memory you've shared for years, the rewrite is in progress. Now, my personal example of this was recently on a video that I shared on this YouTube channel of my daughter when she was 1.5. She was cute, she was giving kisses, she was tired in the video, and we had some cousins over, and she was just a sweet innocent 1.5 year old, just doing what 1.5 year olds do. And in her comments on that video, she refers to me as being crazy and needing help, and she found the video embarrassing. This is my personal example of the sudden erasure of history due to alienation. Sign number four, the independent thinker claim. This is a subtle one. When you ask your child why they're angry, they'll say, "Mom didn't tell me to say this. I thought of it myself." In psychology, we call this the independent thinker phenomenon. The child is so desperate to protect the alienating parent that they will insist, even without being asked, that their hostility is 100% their own idea. They are protecting their safe parent by attacking you. Now, in my personal example of this, a couple years ago, my daughter sent me a video message, and I wasn't sure if this was really her because we hadn't talked in some time. So I was trying to confirm that it was actually her sending me the message. But somewhere in that message, I remember her referencing that her mother didn't put her up to, sending that mean message to me. It was something that she was doing on her own. So again, this is another example of the independent thinker claim, where the alienating parent is protected, and the parent who is being alienated against is constantly being attacked. So sad. The fifth and final sign, sign number 5, is animosity towards your entire family. Alienation rarely stops with just you. Suddenly, your child doesn't want to see their grandparents, their cousins, or even the family dog on your side. If the hatred spreads to everyone associated with you, it's a sign of a split. The child feels that to love mom, they must hate everything and everyone connected to dad. It's an all or nothing mindset that children don't develop on their own. Now, I haven't seen the full signs of this. From my understanding, my daughter does communicate with at least one of her brothers, if not both. I'm not sure in what capacity, but I do know that there is no connection with my side of the family. Unfortunately, my parents had passed away a long time ago, so she never had a connection with her grandparents on my side. But I do feel this all or nothing. If I show any love or consideration towards my dad, then it's going to damage the relationship with my mom. And no child should be caught in the middle of something like that they didn't create on their own. It should be loving their mother and their father equally, because we both brought you into the world. And it's really sad that we're at this state today with parental alienation. But that's sign number 5, the fifth and final sign. Now, if you're seeing these signs, the most important thing that you could do is stay calm, because that's what the alienating parent wants you to do. They want you to just blow up so they could be like, see, we told you that he was dangerous. So avoid blowing up by all means necessary. Now, in the next video, I'm going to be giving some tips to how to handle these situations. But in the meantime, know that your kids still love you, and know that there are other people such as myself who care and have been through these same things. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below with the word strength if you're staying in the fight for your kids. It helps other dads find this video. Subscribe if you need a community that understands, and I'll see you in the next video.